Welcome to Module 21, Lesson 2. In this lesson, we're going to use visual models to represent, add, and subtract times to solve problems using elapsed time. So in these lessons, we're going to be finding the elapsed time, the time between something happening. All right, so let's look at our first problem. Alec arrives at the jump rope club meeting at 3:15 p.m. He leaves at 4:05 p.m. How many minutes is he at the meeting? So what information do we know? We know when the meeting starts and ends, or at least the times that he gets there and leaves the meeting. What do we need to know? How long Alec was there. All right. So we're going to use a number line to help us solve for elapsed time. I personally think that using a number line to solve for elapsed time is really helpful. What I like to do is think about my benchmarks. Benchmarks would be getting to the next hour, getting to the next minute, or getting to the next second, right? So we're going from seconds to minutes, minutes to hours. So here we have it in minutes, right? We're not worrying about any seconds. So we're going to try to find the next hour. The next hour after 3:15 would be 4 o'clock. We're going to show a jump from 3:15 to 4 o'clock. And on top of that jump, we're going to say how long it took. So to go from 15 minutes to the next hour, remember an hour is 60 minutes. So to go from 15 to the next hour would be 45 minutes. Now we aren't to our end stopping point yet. We now need to get to our stopping point of 4:05. So we can make our jump from 4 p.m. to 4:05, which would be only 5 minutes. All right, so we've made it from 3:15 to 4:05. How do we find the elapsed time? Well, we can add the jumps on our number line. So we had one jump of 45 minutes and one jump of 5 minutes. So Alec was at the meeting for 50 minutes. Pause if you need any more time to solve this problem. Okay, so let's look at problem number 2 now. Mrs. Bates rides the bus to the community center. She gets on the bus at 7:36 a.m. and gets off the bus at 8:07 a.m. How long is she on the bus? Use the terms elapsed time, start time, and end time to write a subtraction equation that can be used to find the elapsed time. Well, if we know the end time and the start time, we can subtract the start time from the end time. So we can do end time minus start time will give us the elapsed time. All right, now subtracting time doesn't work just like subtracting using place value. And here's why. When we subtract using place value, right, let's say we're doing 51 minus 8. When I regroup my tens and have 11 ones and 4 tens remaining, that's because there are 10 ones in each 10. Okay, so I regroup and I find that that's equal to 43. Now I want you to take a look when we're doing it down here. When we regroup hours. So if we think subtracting minutes, 7 minutes minus 36, we need to regroup. We regroup our hours, so we now have 7 hours. But that doesn't just regroup as a 1, right? We don't say, 107 minutes, that works. Because 1 hour is not equal to 100 minutes. It's equal to 60. So we regroup this with an additional 60 minutes. So now we're looking at 67 minutes minus 36. When we subtract, we find that 67 minus 36 is equal to 31. And there are no hours remaining. So Mrs. Bates is on the bus for 31 minutes. Right, we're going to do another similar problem. Jill finishes a race at 9:06 and 48 seconds. The race starts at 6:44 and 52 seconds. How long does it take Jill to finish the race? How can we use the information we know to solve the elapsed time from start to finish? Well, just like we did before, we can subtract the start from the finish time. All right, so we're going to set this up. She finishes at 9:06 and 48 seconds. She starts at 6:44 and 52 seconds. All right, when we are doing this, we need to think about almost doing it in columns. So starting with seconds, right? Then we'll look at minutes. And finally, hours. So let's begin by looking at our column of seconds. 42 seconds minus 52. Can we do this, or do we need to regroup? We need to regroup. So we're going to regroup one of our minutes. We're now left with 5 minutes. That 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So it's not 148 here. We're going to add 60 to 48 and get 108 seconds minus our 52 seconds. Okay, I know my 8 ones in my seconds minus my 2 ones will give me 6 ones. And then I have 10 tens minus 5 tens, which will give me 5. So I'm left with 56 seconds. Now I move to my minutes. It looks like I'm subtracting 44 minutes from 5 minutes. I need to regroup. So I'm going to regroup one of my hours as 60 minutes. So now I'm looking at 65 minutes minus 44. 5 ones minus 4 ones is 1 1. 6 tens minus 4 tens is 2 tens. So I have 21 minutes. Right, and finally I can subtract my hours. 8 hours minus 6 hours is 2 hours. So it takes Jill 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 56 seconds. Remember, you can also solve these using a number line. Right? If I were to solve this on a number line, I would have started at 6:44 and 52 seconds. My first jump would have been my 8 seconds. And that would have gotten me to 6:45. I then could have jumped 15 minutes to 7. Then I could have jumped to 9 with 2 hours. I need to keep going to my minutes. Jumped another 6 minutes to 9:06. And finally jumped 48 seconds to 9:06 and 48 seconds. When I add that up, my seconds would be 56 seconds. My minutes are 21 minutes. And a total of 2 hours. Okay, so either method is going to get you the correct answer. Just depends on what you feel more comfortable with. All right, so let's go ahead and look at check understanding. You're going to go ahead and complete these, pause the video, and press play to check your work. All right, let's go ahead and check your work. Here I was able to make a jump of 38 minutes. So I found my elapsed time was 38 minutes. I showed 2 different ways for this problem. If you use subtraction, you did not have to regroup in order to solve. Okay, we could subtract our seconds, we could subtract our minutes and our hours without regrouping to find that we had 18 minutes and 13 seconds. We could have also used a number line. I found that I went 17 minutes and 73 seconds. I had to regroup 60 seconds into 1 minute, and I got the answer of 18 minutes and 13 seconds. So again, either method works.